Come on down to the Chokey Chicken.
Lonely Space Vixens.
Well, why didn't you tell me this was my mother's house?
Why didn't you ask?
Fuck face. Oh, hey, I think I know what that means.
Think back to your childhood for a second. That glow from the TV.
Nick, 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 Nick.
The jingle before every show.
Nickelodeon.
And that weird orange splat logo that felt like home. Nickelodeon was our channel, the place where cartoons felt safe, funny, and simple. But here's the secret. Nickelodeon's writers weren't just making shows for kids. They were making them for everyone in the room. Parents, siblings, babysitters, anyone old enough to catch a joke that kids never could, and they got really good at it. From panty raids to Lonely Space Vixens, from phone sex hotlines to lines that would get a show canceled today. This is the story of how Nickelodeon built an empire of hidden adult jokes right under our noses. By the end, you'll realize your childhood was a lot dirtier than you thought. Rocko's Modern Life, 1993. Let's start with the one that kicked off the madness, Rocko's Modern Life. If you were a 90 Seconds kid, you probably remember it as that weird cartoon with loud neighbors and talking cows. But rewatch it now, it feels like a completely different show. Rocko's world looked cartoonish, but it was really a satire of adult life. Bills, work, bad bosses, and yeah, a few jokes that definitely weren't for kids. The most infamous moment? Canned. Rocko loses his job, needs money, and picks up work as a phone operator. He answers the first call. Oh baby, oh baby, oh baby. It takes exactly 3 seconds for every adult watching to realize what kind of hotline this is. Behind him is a poster that reads, "Be hot, be naughty, be courteous." Then, just to make it worse, his elderly neighbor Mrs. Bighead calls in. The scene is so bold that even decades later, people can't believe it aired on Nickelodeon during the afternoon.
Oh baby, oh baby, oh baby. Rocco? Mrs. Bighead?
But that's Rocko for you. The restaurant everyone eats at, Chokey Chicken. You can't even say that name out loud now without someone side-eyeing you. They eventually renamed it Chewy Chicken, but by then, the internet had already archived everything.
Yeah! You in the mood for chicken that looks good, tastes good, and even smells good? Come on down to the Chokey Chicken. We started small in O-Town, but we done gone global. Chicken as far as the eye can see.
Just like the ones at home.
The genius of Rocko's Modern Life was that it never winked at the camera. It just said the joke and moved on, confident, quick, and way too smart for its times. Vanity Fair once called it the first Nickelodeon cartoon that laughed at adulthood, and they were right. Rocko made growing up look hilarious, miserable, and full of jokes your parents definitely got before you did. Rugrats, Ninteen, 91. Next up, Rugrats, the cartoon that defined childhood for millions. It had diapers, adventure, and the best baby narrator in TV history. So how could this show possibly have an adult joke? Easy. The writers were parents too. In the episode Grandpa's Date, Tommy's grandpa rents some movies for the night. He hands the kids 2 Reptar tapes, all fun and dinosaurs. Then, with the confidence of a man who's seen too much, he lifts a 3rd VHS and says, "And for after you kids go to bed, Lonely Space Vixens." To a kid, that means nothing. To an adult, that's an old man, casually admitting he's about to watch a sci-fi adult movie. On Nickelodeon,
And my personal favorite, Lonely Space Vixens. That's for after you go to bed.
and the delivery, dead serious. No pause, no wink, just perfect comedic timing. For decades, it stayed buried in the rerun rotation, until someone clipped it, uploaded it, and the internet exploded. Reddit threads, TikToks, memes. Suddenly, everyone realized they'd missed the most outrageous line in childhood television. It's short, simple, and iconic. That one joke showed exactly what made Nick so unique. Kids got the story, adults got the subtext, and everyone laughed for totally different reasons. SpongeBob SquarePants Panty Raid, 2003. Alright, let's talk about SpongeBob, the golden child of Nickelodeon, a sponge who lives in a pineapple and somehow managed to get away with more adult humor than most sitcoms. The biggest example, midlife crustacean. Mr. Krabs feels old, broke, and miserable, so SpongeBob and Patrick plan a guy's night out to cheer him up. They go joyriding, dumpster diving, and then Patrick shouts the line that changed SpongeBob history, "I guess you are gonna miss the panty raid." They break into a house, start digging through drawers, and when the lights flip on, it's Mr. Krabs' mom. Cue instant panic. Cue Nickelodeon's biggest "wait, what?" moment ever. The episode aired fine in 2003, but in 2021, Nickelodeon quietly pulled it from streaming. They called it not suitable for children. No kidding. But by then, the internet had already turned it into legend. Reaction edits, meme compilations, even entire video essays, all because SpongeBob went on a panty raid. And here's the wild part. The joke works. Kids think it's just chaos. Adults realize how far it really went. That's the Nick formula in one line. Innocence and insanity, perfectly mixed. SpongeBob SquarePants, Sailor Mouth, 2001. Before the panty raid, there was Sailor Mouth. This one didn't get banned, but it probably should have. SpongeBob finds a bad word behind the Krusty Krab dumpster. He doesn't know what it means, so he tries it. Every time he says it, we hear a dolphin squeak. To kids, it's just goofy sounds. To adults, it's SpongeBob dropping every swear word in the book. Patrick calls them sentence enhancers, and the two start swearing all over town. Then Mr. Krabs overhears them, loses it, and delivers the moral of the story until he says the word himself. No curse words, no bad language, just clever sound design and perfect timing. It's easily one of Nickelodeon's smartest written episodes, a joke that worked for everyone, for completely different reasons.
Hi, SpongeBob.
Hi, Patrick. Hey, Patrick, do you know what this word means?
Crabs. Isn't that the red, sweaty guy you work for?
Nuh-uh, not that word. That word.
Fuck face. Oh, hey, I think I know what that means. That's one of those sentence enhancers.
Sentence enhancers?
You use it when you want to talk fast.
Ren and Stimpy, 1991. Before SpongeBob and Rocco, there was Ren and Stimpy, and this show didn't just push boundaries, it sprinted past them while laughing maniacally. Ren was a psychotic chihuahua. Stimpy was, let's just say, innocent to a fault. Their world was full of suggestive jokes, weird close-ups, and innuendo that no one could believe was airing on a kid's network. One of the wildest examples comes from the episode Rubber Nipple Salesman. Ren and Stimpy go door-to-door selling rubber nipple coverings. One guy opens the door in a towel and says, "Oh, I was just about to use those." That aired on Nickelodeon in the early 90 seconds. Even funnier, most kids just laughed at the animation. Adults, meanwhile, were sitting on the couch, silently questioning everything they'd just seen.
You know, Stimpy, with your invention and my savvy, we'll corner the rubber nipple market. We'll be millionaires. We'll rule the world.
And then there's Powdered Toast Man, a superhero who blasts off backwards from his butt. The show was chaotic genius. Some episodes were banned, others edited, but the legacy stuck. Without Ren and Stimpy, Nickelodeon might never have found the courage to let Rocco or SpongeBob exist. It was controversial, absurd, and absolutely essential.
I'm sorry, fellas. I almost forgot.
Hey Arnold, 1996. Next up, Hey Arnold. It wasn't loud or outrageous like other Nick shows, but that's what made its humor sneakier. Arnold's world felt real, tired parents, noisy apartments, awkward crushes, and with that came some humor only adults noticed. In the therapy episode, Helga's dad refuses to pay for her sessions, yelling about wasting money, a moment fans later twisted into a meme line, "Don't pay for that kind of service." That's the secret power of Hey Arnold. It never needed outrageous jokes, it just slipped real-world adult humor into everyday life.
We didn't have therapy when I was a kid.
That's obvious, Bob.
I don't want you blabbing to some school shrink. We Patakis don't talk about things. We sweep them under the rug.
Some things are best swept under the rug, Helga.
Whatever you do, don't blab anything or they'll give us all a one-way ticket to the funny farm. You got it?
I got it, Dad.
This never would have happened to Olga.
I know, P.
Fairly Odd Parents, 2001. By the early 2000s, Nickelodeon had mastered the art of sneaking in jokes only adults would catch. And nowhere was that balance sharper than in The Fairly Odd Parents, a show about wishes, chaos, and parents who were just barely paying attention. The moment that always makes older viewers stop and blink comes when Timmy mentions using the internet. His dad immediately panics and blurts out, "You're not supposed to be on those kinds of websites." It's one of those lines that passes right over kids' heads, quick, loud, and gone in a second. But for anyone who's ever heard that phrase in real life, the subtext is impossible to miss. Nickelodeon managed to drop a full-blown internet innuendo into a Saturday morning cartoon, and somehow nobody complained for almost 20 years. The clip resurfaced in 2023 under titles like Fairly Odd Parents, Jokes That Weren't for Kids, and instantly went viral again. Fans filled the comments with the same reaction. Wait, they really said that on Nickelodeon? That's what made The Fairly Odd Parents so iconic. It didn't rely on shock value, it relied on speed. The jokes hit fast, slipped past censors, and aged into punchlines. Adults are only now realizing they missed.
You're not supposed to be on those kinds of websites?
But that's my teacher.
Well, it does make him look pretty.
The Loud House, 2016. And yes, even modern Nickelodeon still keeps the legacy alive. The Loud House looks like harmless chaos. One brother, 10 sisters, but the humor can still catch adults off guard. In Space Invader, Lynn tells Lincoln there's a lack of balls in his room. She's talking about sports gear. Adults hear something else entirely.
You know, I'm noticing a complete lack of balls in this room. No soccer balls, no footballs, no baseballs, no balls. Good.
When that clip hit Twitter, fans lost it. Posts went viral with captions like, "Nickelodeon really just said this." And that's the beauty of it. Even 30 years later, Nick's writers are still sneaking jokes past censors, knowing the internet will find them eventually. So how did Nickelodeon pull this off for decades? 2 words, dual audience. The writers mastered the art of layered humor, jokes that worked differently depending on your age. Kids laughed at faces, slapstick, and chaos. Adults caught the background signs, the phrasing, the sideways glances. They used speed and subtlety as camouflage. If a joke lasted less than 2 seconds, it didn't count as inappropriate. If it could be interpreted 2 ways, it passed. That's why so many of these moments made it to air. The kids didn't get them, so nobody complained. It wasn't rebellion, it was precision comedy. Nickelodeon writers created a world where every punchline worked twice. When you line them all up, one thing's clear: Nickelodeon never played it safe. Rocco gave us the "Oh Baby" hotline. Rugrats gave us "Lonely Space Vixens." SpongeBob gave us the panty raid and dolphin squeak swears. Ren and Stimpy gave us rubber nipples and back-end takeoffs. CatDog asked the question no one wanted answered. And the Loud House reminded us the tradition's alive and well. None of this was by accident. Nickelodeon wanted to entertain parents stuck watching with their kids. Those jokes were little rewards, secret handshakes between the writers and the adults who got it. And years later, we all grew up, rewatched, and realized what we missed. That rediscovery is why these clips still go viral decades later. It's not just nostalgia, it's revelation. Nickelodeon wasn't being sneaky, it was being smart. So yeah, turns out the Kids Network wasn't that innocent after all. From Rocco's "Oh Baby" to SpongeBob's panty raid to the Loud House's lack of balls, Nickelodeon's been hiding adult jokes in plain sight for over 30 years. It's the reason we still talk about them, the reason people keep clipping old scenes and posting, "How did this air?" And honestly, it's what made Nickelodeon special. The writers trusted their audience, all of us, to grow up and finally get the joke. So tell me, which one did you miss as a kid but caught years later? Grandpa's VHS? SpongeBob's Guys Night? Rocco's new job? Drop it in the comments, hit that like button, subscribe for more deep dives into your childhood, and hey, maybe don't rewatch Ren and Stimpy with your parents.